All right, we're on part 2 of our FCA review, the last one we're going to do before we do the assessment. So let's take a look at the next kind of problem you'll have on it. This problem says, in 2009, the number of cats owned as pets in the United States was about 5,329,000, and the number of dogs was about 7,987,000. Which expression represents dogs as more popular than cats? Meaning, which one shows the greater than, the less than, or the equal in the right places? So which one is correct or right? Well, let's look. We know that 7 million is the greatest of the two. So that means the mouth of the gator is going to be open to the 7 million. So let's look at it. Right here, it's chomping up the smaller amount, so we know that's not right. And to read it, we always read from left going right. It would be 5,329,000 is greater than 7,987,000, which is not correct. Looking at the next one, 7,987,000 is greater than 5,329,000. We know this one is read correctly. This one says they're equal, and we know they are not equal. And this one again shows 5 million as greater. See how the symbol is eating up the 5, and it is not greater. So your correct answer in this case is B. Remember when you read these problems to read them on the test from this direction left going right to see if you have the correct answer. And in this case it is greater than because the symbol is showing greater than to the 7 million number. Next, you're going to be asked to read a chart, and you'll have several problems with that chart. This is a chart about zoo attendance that a friend of mine made for me. Thank you very much, Miss Chris. And it says, which amount has a digit 5 in the millions place? Well, you can look at the chart, or you can look at your answers down here that are part of your selection, and you're looking for the millions place. Well, let's start here. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. Nope, that's a 4. Millions. Nope, that's a 6. Millions, 5. They wanted the digit 5. This must be it. But let's check the last one. Millions, 4. Nope, that is not it. So your answer is C. 5,358,923. You'll move on and have yet the same chart to read, and it says which year had an attendance of 3,976,882. So you'll have to look at the chart and follow very carefully. This one is easy because the first value, the largest position, says 3 million. And going down in the millions, in this case, there's only one that has a 3 in the millions position, so the answer is 2007. Be careful, you might have more than one on the test with the same value in the highest position, so you have to read the other part of the words very carefully. Moving on, we have this same chart. This time they're asking, what is the best estimate to the millions? So that means we are rounding to the millions. What is the best estimate to the millions of how many more we asked how many changed, how many more visitors came in 2005 than in 6. That means they want the change between 2 years. And anytime we want a change, we're asking for the difference. And the difference means subtraction. So we are going to subtract. And we're going to subtract after we've rounded. We've been doing this in practice for homework. Your homework weekend packet had it. So we're going to look at the 2 years they asked for. The only 2 we have are 5 and 6. So we're going to round them to the millions first, so I'll underline millions. I look to the right and see a 5 in the 100,000 position. We've been talking about 5 and above, shoving a lot. They're big bullies, so they're going to shove the 6 up to 7 million, and then bullies always run away, so everyone just goes, and it's zeros remaining. Then we look at the next one, and 3 is not a bully. 4 below, they leave you alone, but they also run away because they're bored. They have other things to do. So we have 5 million as the number we've rounded. And when we subtract the 2 or find the difference, 7 million. I'll use my commas for those of you who are always bothering me about that. Minus 5 million. You end up with a estimated difference of 2 million, which is D. Remember, they want an estimate, so don't be fooled by numbers that are not rounded. Last but not least, you just watched me playing around with the board. I couldn't get my red marks off of there. Sorry about that. The Hogtown Winter Fun Park just opened. There are 88 people visiting the ice skating rink. There are 192 people sledding and 47 people standing at the various concession stands. What expression below shows the closest estimate of how many people are at the fun park? Well, we know the expressions don't need to be added. They're just showing you the problem. When we call those expressions when they don't actually have what it's equal to. So you don't have to solve it. You just have to know how to set it up. Closest estimate does not necessarily mean we're rounding to the biggest place value or the greatest value. We're rounding to the closest number. In this case, I see a 50, so I need to be on the lookout for something that might be close to 50. Let's take one number at a time. There are 192 people sledding. Well, I need to look in, I'm sorry, the first number is 88. Wow. Now I'm going to have all you kids coming and talking about my mistakes tomorrow. There are 88 people visiting the ice skating rink. Remember, mistakes are things we learn from. I got to learn to read. 88 is going to round. The closest I can think of would be 100. Let me look and see. Yes, my problem thinks 100 is going to be the first one. They all agree. Now I'm going to look at the next thing. 192 people sledding. Well, I'm thinking of the choices I have. 200 is the closest estimate for 192 because it's sure closer than 100. So I've got 2 of them that think it's 200, and I agree. So I'm going to eliminate this one. It can't be it. Now I look at 47, and I see that if I rounded 47, I would go to 0. But then I see this one says 50, and I see my directions say closest estimate. Well, 47 is definitely closer to 50 than to 0, so I would say 50 is my closest estimate. I will pick C. Remember, they did not say estimate or round to the greatest. They did not say just estimate. They said closest. That means you will be looking for all 3 numbers that are closest to the ones in the problem. Don't round them just to the greatest place value or the nearest 100. Round it to the closest. So just check each problem one at a time to see which have the closest estimate, and you'll do just fine. Review this last problem one more time if you don't understand it, and we'll do a couple more in class just like it. We got off lucky. This was about 2 or 3 minutes shorter than last night's review. Get some rest, do your reading, do your spelling words, and answer the question in the back of your reader, and get ready for your AR test in it so you can finish all your homework this week and get some rest, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.